because you could then offer a service to women where they buy their makeup using their skin, hair and eye combinations. And I'm very much after what I deem to be the invisible woman. It's a woman who has a lot of money to spend, but she may not be most confident online. And so this gives her the confidence and gives her the trust and makes it much easier. So we have a very high proportion of women who are buying online.
Don't people prefer to, with cosmetics, to go into a shop and touch and feel the product and try it on?
Traditionally they do, but there are a lot of issues about buying in store for a woman. She could get the wrong colour. She might not like the look of the person on the other side of the counter. And this way, if she feels she's bought into what we're offering her, by the time she gets online, she trusts enough that we will give her a curated selection of what really suits her for who she is.
So you're after affluent customers. You're pretty agnostic about how old they are?
Totally agnostic. We're an ageless brand. But I think there's so much of a noisy space in the Generation Z. And I kind of love the Generation X. It's my favourite generation.
It's us.
It's us, it's us. But we are ageless. We have mothers buying for daughters, daughters buying for mothers. And I always feel it should be about your attitude to yourself, not about your age. We shouldn't be determined by that.
Now, you're an online brand, although you have run pop-up stores in the past, haven't you? So...
We have. I think you shouldn't just be totally direct to consumer, especially in this day and age. You want to, I call them sleeping customers, the people who are offline, because our world is mainly online. So about 20% of our customers can buy through stores. But we want to introduce in-store a very online journey, so they do that digital match to me in-store with somebody helping them. So then they become a customer when they're in store, and it's easier for them to buy online.
And how did you source the manufacturing?
Trial and error, you know, we had a utility patent on our stackable portable makeup. It comes in these lovely pots. So that took about 10 prototypes to get right. And then you work on formulas. So that took about a year and a half. And then you knock that down and then you work on colours. So we launched with 50 products. We now have 85.
What are your sort of thoughts on the global cosmetic industry generally? I mean, Coty, one of the big players, has just announced a big drop in profits. I mean, times are tough out there for a lot of the established beauty brands, aren't they?
A lot of brands who rely much more on retail are in trouble because department stores are in trouble. Even shopping malls in America are in trouble. You see, Sephora is maybe in more trouble than Ultra, who is going to be more localized. So I feel online is where all the action is. It's where the most exciting companies are being developed. And there still is a place for in-store, funnily enough, especially with that Z generation. They like to go back in store again. But I think there's room for people with a new attitude. And
what about sustainability? How important is that to have sustainable packaging?
It should be a given. It's like inclusivity. So for us, it's about 90% of our packaging is recyclable, and it's about having clean products, having no parabens in, having cruelty-free. Those are all important aspects.
So are you have you got any sort of established brands in your sites that you're trying to take custom from necessarily?
I'd say Bobbi Brown, Estee Lauder, you know, they are companies that are just doing this, perhaps a little bit. And that customer who's feeling, I'm not over yet, who's talking to me? Who's being exciting? Who's saying you're around? We use 18 to 83-year-old women on our site, and we have 83 different models. Whenever we do any social media, and we sell a lot through social media, we have a whole variety of age groups. And it's making raw, you know, we do an ad on Facebook, and it's not an ad, it's a conversation of a woman with herself in the mirror. So you stop and you watch it because you think, that could be me. Yeah. That's what it's got to be about.
So it's about making it accessible to ordinary people, essentially.
Very much so.
So what made you switch? I mean, everyone knows you for fashion.
Yeah.
What made you move into beauty?
Because I did 20 years of making over women, and the thing I noticed the most is that they noticed the change in their makeup first. And I think it's an incredibly personal thing with women. And I had very bad acne till I was 30, so I tried everything. I have tried every single product out there. So it was a natural journey for me to go into. And I found a very exciting, underperforming market for what I wanted to do.
And that's interesting you mentioned that you had acne as a child. I mean, makeup really can absolutely boost someone's confidence in a big, big way, can't it?
It can. It can do that, and it can camouflage. And I think there's a lot of Kardashian, you know, caking, baking makeup out there. And we are very much, our motto for our business is be your best, ... So it's about still being you, you know, not covering